Hello and welcome to this month's edition of What's Happening on the RJ National. My name's Jamie Hughes and I'm the greenkeeper here at Ipswich. I find April and May a really exciting time of year. The grass is really starting to pick up. The mowers are out full time now, striping everything up, making everything look really good. And of course the weather's on our side now, it's cheering us up after what has been a pretty dreary winter. It also means we can start pushing the surfaces a little bit, so a spring starter fertiliser perhaps, some cultural practices, just to get the surfaces up to where we want them to be, ready for our golfers, so green speeds, etc., things like that. I've got here my Cushman Turf Truckster, and on the back of which is a Turfco 1540 wide spin top dresser. So cyclone action, spinners just evenly distributing the top dressing out the back. And what I'm going to do with this is just top dress a football pitch, but I'm just going to experiment a little bit with the controller on the front here, just to find a nice even application rate. The football pitch is fairly bobbly. Because of the heat last season we avoided top dressing completely, so I'm going to look to put a bit down this summer, but just want to experiment a little with this. Too lighter top dressing on here, we're going to see little or no difference, so it's just messing around with the spinner speed, belt speed, things like that, just to find a nice even rate. And after that we're going to brush it in, and then tonight water it in with the irrigation system. And at the moment we're a steady 45% on each side on both the spinner speed and the belt speed. And you can see by the angle of the spinners we're really firing it into the surface. So now we're going to up it, the spinner speed a little bit to 55%. So now on this run, what I think we'll do, I'm happy with the spinner speed, we're now going to drop the belt speed just down to about 35%. So now the top dressing's down, we now need to brush it in. And what I'm going to do is, instead of using a conventional drag mat or brush, I'm going to use this GreenTech sail rolling deck with the brush on the back here. Now normally we would sail roll in the morning and perhaps use this brush to disperse the dew, but what I'm going to do is actually kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to lightly aerate with a sail roller, so I'm going to get a little bit of moisture and air into the sort of immediate soil profile, if you like. And I'm hoping there's enough weight in this brush to actually disperse the top dressing for me. So like I say, two birds with one stone, but we'll see what happens. So now I've been over this with the brush, let's just have a look at the surface and just check that the dressing has gone down how we want it to. So if you look here, we'll just pull this grass apart, we can see the dressing down on the surface there. So it's brushed in really well. Now when we cut this, we're not grooming, we're at 30mm here, we're not going to disturb it, we're not going to lift it back up. So now all we're doing with each application, we're just levelling the surface out nicely, providing a better playing surface for the year. This month has also seen me verticutting the greens using my Eclipse 322 greens mower with our GreenTech verticutting cassettes. The idea of the verticutting is just to remove organic or dead material from the turf canopy. So we're not going into the surface here, we're just scratching it, removing lateral growth, improving airflow and water infiltration as we go. This also promotes both lateral and vertical growth and a firm, fast putting surface. Joining me the afternoon I was verticutting was Keith Titchell of Waldringfield Golf Club. He was here to see how everything was going, and while he was here we had a look at the material in the back of the buggy here that the verticutters had brought up, including the Power Annua, or annual meadow grass. Maybe the Power Buster might rip the roots out with it as well. Yeah. Like anyone else, we do still get attacked by annual meadow grass here. The greens have been the worst affected area for us. March was very dry here, fairly mild, quite windy, so the germination risk was quite high, so there's a lot of seed heads about. And of course the verticutters have just helped rip some of them up. And from here on, by doing that sort of weekly and following overseeding, which we'll feature next month, we should be able to cut that power annual right the way down. I also spent a lot of time this month tidying up the site, as we all have to do, ahead of important visitors. At the end of April, we saw the Chancellor of the Exchequer, George Osborne, visit us here at Ransomes Jacobsen. He was here to tour the factory and meet some of our staff. Now, some of you may not know this, and I didn't until recently, but we at Ransomes Jacobsen actually export up to 60% of the machinery we manufacture here at Ipswich all around the world. And the Chancellor wanted to discuss issues that face UK exporting business, although we spent most of his time in the factory meeting the guys on the factory floor. He actually took a real interest in how the machines were manufactured, and we even got him involved in putting together a GP400 greens mower.
Very nice to see you. Very nice to meet you. Thank you.
So that now brings this video to a close. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please join me next time where we look at a bit more work we do on the greens here, including some light scarification and some overseeding. But until then, thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time.